Welcome to 3D Dinosaur Adventure. Get ready. Put your 3D glasses on.
You can take your 3D glasses off now, but keep them handy. You'll also find 3D images in the 3D Dinosaur Museum, Art-a-Saurus, and the reference section. Welcome to Dinosaur Adventure 3D. If you need more help, click on the question mark.
Are you ready to go on a dinosaur safari? Click on the tiny dinosaur that was not much bigger than a modern-day chicken. Keep looking. This Megazostrodon wasn't even a reptile. It was warm and furry. You're right. You found Compsognathus. It was only 2 feet long. Click on the fast-moving dinosaur that resembles a modern-day ostrich. You're right. You found the Ornithomimus. This dinosaur was very quick and may have eaten other dinosaurs' eggs. Click on the prehistoric reptile whose body hasn't changed much in 80 million years. You're right. You found the Archelon. It was a marine turtle that looked very much like a sea turtle does today. Click on the large dinosaur whose 5th finger was actually a sharp, pointy spike. Keep looking. This Amniotic was a 43-foot-long plant eater that had a duckbill-shaped mouth. Keep looking. You're right. You found the Iguanodon. It was one of the first dinosaur fossils to be discovered by man. Click on the small, dangerous predator that used a large claw on its hind legs to slash its prey. You're right. You found the Velociraptor. This intelligent dinosaur probably hunted in packs. Click on the prehistoric reptile that loved to eat fish. You're right. You found the Mosasaur. This marine reptile was 45 feet long and ruled the ancient seas 80 million years ago. Click on the 11-ton dinosaur that used its horns to protect itself from large meat-eating dinosaurs. You're right. You found the Triceratops. It lived in large herds all over North America. Click on the duck-billed dinosaur that had hundreds of teeth in its jaw, which were used to chew up leaves and tough plants. Can you recognize a dinosaur when you see one? Which reptile is this a part of?
think you have me mistaken for someone else.
Keep looking. You're right. I'm an iguanodon, and that's my tail. When I walked, I held my tail straight out behind me. It was a pretty handy weapon when I was in danger.
Which reptile is this a part of?
You're right! I'm a Dilophosaurus, and that's my head crest! I probably used it to let other dinosaurs like me know whether I was male or female! In this case, I'm female, of course!
Which reptile is this a part of?
You're right. I'm a Parasaurolophus, and that's my head crest. It measured 6 feet long and was made of a hollow nasal passage. I may have used it to make a loud trumpet-like sound.
Which reptile is this a part of?
You're right. I'm an Allosaurus, and that's my eye. I probably had very good eyesight, so I could spot my prey from great distances.
Which reptile is this a part of?
You're right. I'm a Brachiosaurus, and that's my thigh. It was filled with a column-like bone that helps support my enormous weight.
You're doing great.
Which reptile is this a part of?
You're right. I'm a Euparkeria, and those are my forearms. I was an early ancestor of dinosaurs and ran for short distances on my hind legs.
Which reptile is this a part of? You're right. I'm a Dimetrodon, and that's my sail fin. I probably used it to absorb heat from the sun and warm my body. Remember, I was a cold-blooded reptile. Which reptile is this a part of?
You're right. I am a Dinosuchus, and that's my skin. It was very bumpy like a crocodile skin is today. Hey, I'm related to crocodiles. No wonder. Are you ready for level 2?
Which reptile is this a part of? Do you really know your dinosaur names? "3D Dinosaur Museum."
Welcome to the 3D Dinosaur Museum. Put your 3D glasses on.
how well do you know your dinosaur facts?
Triassic period. The dinosaurs begin. The Triassic period was the beginning of the age of the dinosaurs. During that time, all the land on Earth was in one gigantic mass, with a huge bay called the Sea of Tethys. Most of the interior of the land, called Pangaea for all Earth, was desert since it was so far away from the rain clouds that gathered above the sea. The climate was warm, and from the ground grew such plants as tree ferns, conifers, and cycads, a palm-like plant. There were animals we know today, such as frogs and crocodiles and turtles. But there were also mammal-like reptiles, little mammals and four-legged reptiles known as thecodonts, which scientists think were the ancestors of the dinosaurs. Then, about 225 million years ago, toward the end of the Triassic period, the first real dinosaurs appeared. For the most part, these were smaller dinosaurs. Life. How did it happen? Here you can see an outline of the history of the universe. In the sky are galaxies and the comets, planets, and moons that formed in the solar system, plus, of course, the sun, on which all life depends. In the ocean at the far left are the molecules that make up life. As you look to the right, you can see the bacteria that were the first cells of life, followed by more complex sea life, and finally, land life. This is the story science tells us. But how did it happen? Many scientists believe that by chance, molecules combined into simple life forms, and experiments have shown that with the right atmosphere, lightning and solar radiation could create simple amino acids that are the building blocks of life. Then these amino acids could combine into simple life forms, and these in turn could change into increasingly complex life forms by the process of evolution outlined by naturalist Charles Darwin. Some scientists, however, don't believe this. They think that early life may have come from outer space. Why? Self-sufficient eggs. Before reptile, Estimenosuchus, mammal reptile. This mammal-like reptile, called Estimenosuchus, lived in the Permian period, just before the Triassic, when the dinosaurs appeared. Estimenosuchus means strong garment reptile. It had large, sharp front teeth, but tiny side teeth, suggesting it ate plants. Its skull, about 36 inches long, was heavy and had bony lumps on its forehead and snout, perhaps for fighting other male Estimenosuchuses. Coelophysis, the cannibal. This small, compact dinosaur was built for speed and agility. While Coelophysis stood only about 7 feet tall, its powerful rear legs and long, slender body made it a fast and deadly predator. It had a long, narrow head and a mouth filled with numerous razor-edged teeth. Unlike other dinosaurs, the leg bones of Coelophysis were nearly hollow, which helped reduce its total body weight and increase its speed. Plateosaurus, first large reptile. Plateosaurus, or flat reptile, was one of the first large plant-eating dinosaurs known as prosauropods. These were the ancestors of the much larger sauropods, which includes Brachiosaurus and Apatosaurus. Plateosaurus lived during the late Triassic and early Jurassic periods, and ranged all over what is now northern Europe. At a major fossil site in Germany, dozens of Plateosaurus skeletons have been uncovered at the same location. Self-sufficient eggs. Before reptiles could spend all their time on dry land, they had to develop a new way to give birth to their young. No matter how much time amphibians spent living on dry land, they always had to return to the water in order to lay their eggs. That's because baby amphibians, known as larvae, were too small and frail to survive on land without being crushed or drying out. So about 400 million years ago, certain amphibians began to lay a new kind of egg. It was called the amniotic egg. An amniotic egg is a specialized egg that is very similar to the eggs that birds and lizards lay today. The first amniotic egg was covered by a leathery shell, not a hard shell like a chicken egg, and contained everything needed for a young, undeveloped animal, called an embryo, to grow into a fully functioning baby that would eventually crack through the shell. Making tracks in Texas. Dinosaur trackways are some of the most informative fossil remains to be found. Fossil tracks were formed when dinosaurs walked over wet sand or soil and left an imprint which was quickly covered with sediment and thereby preserved. Most often, this occurred along the sides of rivers or lakes where dinosaurs might have traveled. One of the most famous dinosaur trackways was discovered in Texas at a place named the Glen Rose Formation. These fossil imprints show 23 overlapping trackways made by a large number of four-legged plant eaters, most likely the giant Art-a-Saurus. Museums. To learn more about dinosaurs, check the lists of dinosaur museums below.